Alright, what's going on, guys? Moxification here. So today I'm going to do a video on a patch for, well, it's not one patch, it's kind of two patches, but a patch for MW2 TU6, so obviously you won't be able to use it online. It's essentially for trick shots. It's like a trick shot based menu. It's not really for anything else other than trick shotting. One of the patches is, well, the folder is called tag and the other one's called Skree. So the difference between them, I'm not too sure if one of them's for faking and one of them's for not. I'm not too sure what the full differences are out of them, but I do know that they are different, so you can mess with them yourself. I have messed with them myself. They're definitely different. They're definitely 100% different. They just have different things. One of them has a menu that's, I believe it was from PS3 to Xbox, and the other one I think might have a menu as well. But it's just different. I believe they're both different. I could be totally wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure they're different because some of the things don't work. Like one of them, you'll do the controls for the other one and it won't work for the first one, whereas you'll have the controls from the second one, and some of them will work on the first one but some of them won't. You know, it's kind of like that. So they're definitely both different. I'm not too sure if it's version 1 and version 2, or you know, they're just different. But yeah, they're definitely different. But yeah, so I'm going to be using the Skree one. So it's called Skree. That's what it's called. The folder was called Skree. I think it's called Skree mod, I believe. I'm just going to check. Yeah, Skree mod. So yeah, I guess we'll get into it. So what you've got is, you've got the a folder with the default in there. That's for blue arrows, so it is for faking. You can use that, or you could use your original TU6 default. You've also got a folder called Skree mod, which in there you've got the patch, and then you've got another folder called tag, which also has a patch, and then you've got a text document called controls, which essentially has the controls. The controls I acquired from a friend on Facebook. He had a patch. He sent me a patch about 3 months ago now, I'd say. I'm not too sure if this is fully public or released or whatever. I was told that it is on the internet, and so I'm assuming that people have got it, and it's not like I'm not doing anything that people don't want me to do. I'm not like releasing it like I did previously with, I've done it to a few patches actually. I did it to a TU6 faking patch made by Cams. Me and Cams are good now, but obviously at the time it wasn't a good idea for me to do. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off by spawning the bot in. To spawn a bot in with this, you just have to do prone, I believe it's prone, RB and knife. There you go. So we've got a bot in the game. I am just going to kill the bot, so I'm going to lay down, do D-pad down and kill the bots, and then the teams fix themselves, because you know, you've got to when you spawn a bot in on TU6, and like it's to do with multiplayer and online game and private match, you have to like skip around essentially, and then now everything's good. So yeah, so I'm not too familiar with this patch. I'm not too familiar with the controls. I do every now and then have to take a look back to the text document, but I am going to essentially be reading kind of from the text document and be telling you my own knowledge of it, because obviously I do remember some things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by teleporting the bot down here, because that's what you do, you know. And I'm going to go up top. Yeah, and then so the next thing would be the explosive bullet. So I know that's essentially it's LS and RS together. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. It's kind of like you have to be dead on with it. If you do the first one, if you do like LS and then RS a little bit later, it won't work. You've got to do it at the same time exactly. So you've got like close, strong, hit marker everywhere, and off. So that's what you've got. You've got like different what would you call it, like different a different option essentially of explosive bullets. So I guess we'll do close. Close does have to be fairly close, but you just have to have your crosshairs on the person, so you could potentially have it like I believe it will work if I do it like, let's do, yeah, like that. There you go. And obviously that shot didn't hit. I'm pretty sure it didn't hit. If it did hit, that'd be mental. But you'll see if it's 0.3, which it was between 0.2 and 0.3. You know that was the mod itself. That was the you know, the aimbot, the explosive bullets itself. Whereas if I'd have actually hit that, it would have been like 0.1 and 2. It'd be between 0.1 and 2, and you'd know that, you know, I'd have actually hit the shot. But yeah. So the next thing would be, you can actually choose the explosive bullet weapon. So let's say you didn't want it to be the intervention, and you wanted it to be, for example, an FAL, you know, a FAL. Some people trick shot with a FAL, some people trick shot with pistols, you know, like the Magnum. I've seen videos of people doing it. I don't think I'd ever do it, so I don't really need to touch it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spawn the bot down here again, so we can mess with some more mods. So the next thing would be the can swap. So essentially the can swap, we all know what a can swap is. A couple of videos, well, not a couple of videos ago, a couple of months ago, I didn't know what it was. Well, it wasn't a couple of months ago, probably about 6 months ago. I didn't know what it was. I did know what the thing was, the action of doing a can swap. I did know what that was, but I didn't know the name of it. I just knew what it was, but didn't know that it was called a can swap, if that makes sense. But obviously now I know. It's where you pick up the gun and it does like that action. It's not actually can swap mod or a fake can swap. It's actually in this one you do crouch, I believe it's crouch, knife and right, and then it drops a gun, and then you could do a can swap, so like that, and then obviously you go for the shot, and then that's the shot, you know. You can also save and load positions. So before in the controls, it used to say that you have to knife. You don't actually have to knife. You can do, I believe it's crouch D-pad up to save, and then crouch D-pad down like loads it. So you have to be crouched essentially to do it. So you could go for a shot. I'm gonna miss. If I hit that, that would have been epic. And then you can crouch D-pad down, and it will spawn you up again, and then, you know, you can go for more shots or whatever. Yeah, there's also UFO mode, which is I believe it's B and then like knife. I believe it's like you have to like do. It's not like you don't. I don't know how to explain. Like you have to do it at the same time. Like it's not crouch and knife. It's like you have to press B and the knife at the same time. So you could potentially do, if you had your what would you call it? If you had your layout on tactical, you'd just be pressing the same button. So it'd be like essentially right stick and B at the same time, and not crouch and knife, if that makes sense. And then obviously LB and RB to do slow and fast. So LB is slow and RB is fast, and that allows you to do UFO. And then you can come out of that again by pressing the same buttons again, and then you'll come out of it, and then everything's good. And then I'm gonna save the position. Load the position. You've also got fake bounce, and you can delete the fake bounce. Haven't mastered that yet. I don't understand it. I don't understand how it works. I'm not too sure if it even works properly. When I messed with it before, it did say that one had been loaded, but that could totally just be text. I'm sure that it does work, and I'm just an idiot, and I don't know it. You know, I don't know how to do it, but you know, I'm pretty sure it works. But I've never actually managed to get it working myself, simply because I'm probably an idiot. But yeah. So yeah, the final thing in this patch is the menu. The menu is, I believe it's converted from PS3 to Xbox. The reason I think that is because it has something to do with CFG in the thing. It says like in the menu, we'll open it up, so it's aim and D-pad up, and as it says right there, CFG infection. I have messed with it myself. It doesn't work. I'm assuming that is because it's PS3 to Xbox. If you were to select that and back out and then go into like split screen, there will be a checkerboard, but it won't work. It just doesn't work for me. I'm assuming that is, as I said before, because it's PS3 to Xbox. Could be totally wrong. Maybe it does work, and I'm just an idiot again. But yeah, so in this menu, essentially, it's quite simple. You've got bot settings. You can change a lot of stuff to do with the bots. There's a lot of stuff in here. Obviously, you can mess with it. You can do whatever, but there's a lot of stuff in the bots. You've got accounts. You can change like your prestige and give yourself unlockable and overkill classes. I'm not too sure if all of that works, but you know, it's something to mess with. Kill streaks. So you can give yourself kill streaks. Binds. so you can actually activate the. There was the fake Skree knack. There was the kill streak knack. Haven't messed with that. Didn't understand what that was fully. And then the knack bind. Both of the Skree and the normal knack work fine. Mess with them. They're pretty sick. I didn't really know what a Skree was. I remember seeing a video on it when it was first discovered, essentially you could say. I remember seeing a video on Quarry on using the what was it called, the model, you know, like the model gun, model and intervention, and the guy went for a shot on Quarry and he didn't mean to do it, and he discovered this Skree knack. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, because when I messed with it, it did do essentially what was in the video, so I'm assuming that it's the same thing. Could be totally wrong though. Maybe he didn't discover it, he just did it by accident, and people had already known about it for a long time. But it is essentially it's a fake Skree knack. It's not, you're not actually doing one. Obviously, it's like a remake of a Skree knack, and it does work quite well. But I don't actually have. I do have a model, so I guess I could do it. I didn't think I had a model, so let's do deeper down. I believe it's lay down, deep it up. There you go. So that should give me the gun. Now aim in, deep it up. Let's find it. I didn't think I had. Oh, wrong one. This one. Here we go. So now come out the menu. Essentially, if you press, I believe it's deeper down. I could be wrong. I think it's deeper down. Let's do deeper down. So yeah, I believe it's this. So that is a Skree knack. I'm pretty sure that is a Skree knack. Could be totally wrong. But this is essentially what I saw in the video when the person was doing it. It glitches between the two. So if you do cock back and then that, I believe that is a Skree knack. Could be totally wrong, but you know, that's what my knowledge of it is. But yeah, so there is some more in the menu. You've got the camo menu, the game settings, the CFG infection, as I said before, and players. So you could kick the bot out of the game, you could teleport them, you know, you could kill them and freeze the player and whatever. So it's quite a sick patch. You've got, as I said, there was the conditional one, and then there was the Goobear one. I've never heard of Goobear. I have heard of conditional before. I saw his MW2 menu, I think it was a faking menu. It might have been Superman lobby menu, and I remember it had some sort of authentication in there. It had a gamer tag authentication or something in there. So I have heard of conditional before. I think it was conditionals as a patch on a BO2. And I haven't heard of Goobear before, but I'm sure that he's fairly well known within some sort of modding community, some sort of faking community, maybe the PS3 scene. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So the download link will be in the description if you want to mess with it, if you want to download it. It is TU6, so you can't use it online. It's pretty fun to mess with, and I believe in the other version, the tag version, actually has the backflips. I could be totally wrong with that, but I think it does have the backflips. So. But yeah, if I'm wrong with that, you could add it in. It's quite easy to do. But yeah, so that's about it. As I said, links will be in the description. And thanks for watching. So I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Yeah, goodbye.